Into Smooth 98.1. You are the real MVP. This is your Love Music, Love Life radio station, Smooth 98.1. Smooth Breakfast here with me, Valentine Ohu. And this time around, it's time for sports. I don't need to, do I need to make any introductions? Oh, yes, please. Her name is Tega Onojaife. But we know her as Tega Supreme, not for just the fact that that's her Twitter handle, but also for the fact that she's a wonderful lady that pulls big things. All right, big people with big money and big ideas. Yesterday, she organized single-handedly. She might tell you different, but she organized the ladies in sports conference. And yesterday was a special event that pulled the big wigs together. I mean, who else organizes a sports conference for particular reasons on the same day that the state government is doing something big at a single event at the same venue, Civic Center? Yesterday, the short story, I'm not going to waste your time on this. I went to the Civic Center just to be part of the event. I didn't show my face, to be honest. I want to take pictures and see Tega and say, oh, Tega, look at me. How far? How far's going on? How much money have we gathered? But then I got there, I couldn't park. First of all, traffic in Lagos is absurd. Second of all, that event must have been so huge that it attracted so many people. I was really overwhelmed to see that.
At some point, I was worried. Good morning, Lagos. I said, maybe I should have made it bigger.
Exactly. I mean, we're planning for a small group of people.
Just a small group of people.
Boy.
Yeah, I said maybe we should have made it bigger. Um, but it was what it was. So yesterday was, I would say this. There was so much to learn yesterday. Um, and you hear things oftentimes when sometimes some people just come and put things into perspective. So it was about getting more money into women's sports, commercializing sports basically. And so we had the advertising agencies because they're the ones that determine where the money goes. I mean, for radio and TV, but basically even for for personalities. And so I was so excited to tell, the head. Okay, so the both of the speakers on the panel were the heads of their advertising agency. So I was going to tell them, oh, there are people that you can put money on. I was even start to ask questions and to read resume of some good athletes and teams, so that they will hear and put money on it. So it was Bumi, okay,
Yes.
and then Nkechi Alade, from both of them were from advertising agencies. So I said, oh, the Tigresses are so amazing. That they won the Afro Basketball Championships, and now they've qualified for the qualifier of the Olympics. And so that they're such a fantastic team. I was so excited. And I said, why can't you get your brands to put money on them? So Bumioke looked at me and said, I see you're excited about this, the Tigress, but the only tiger I know is the beer.
That's what
I couldn't get over myself. I was like, what do you mean?
No way.
She said, yes. She said, the thing about it is that because you think you're a star in your area of expertise, it doesn't mean you're a star everywhere else.
Yes.
So you may be doing your job on your side and winning on your side, but if nobody knows you, there's no brand equity that other brands come and put their money on. So you have to have a brand equity. How many people do you reach? How many people know you? How many people can you influence?
Wow.
Those are the things they want to know. Not that you want gold. You want gold is
You want it for your
you
pocket.
want your pocket is for yourself. But
My
we
gosh.
want to see. So she didn't know. So she's like, so she didn't know the time. There was another girl, the Georgia Elbow, who is now the new face of golf. And she was at the event. So a lot of people didn't know her. So she came to the event with her dad. She's sitting at the table. And usually if you see an athlete, you'd rush to an athlete. But a lot of people didn't know her. And so one of the Nkechi Alade, who is the other brand advertising agent, now looks and says, if they didn't mention that Jojo Obo was a golfer, she would have just thought, okay, she's one of the people in the room.
Her name is
He
Jojo.
said, and so that is the problem, that you have to know these people to put brands. So at the end of the day, I was just thinking about it. Hey, if you're a star in your side,
You're a local champion.
I'm telling you, it doesn't mean you have to be a star everywhere else. So there were things to learn.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Andrew Nevin, he's a chief economist in his company. Now he comes to tell us that sometimes this thing is not. You be wise. He said we sponsor cricket because our boss used to play cricket for Nigeria,
And that's it.
and that's it.
If you didn't play cricket at all,
Do you understand?
no
So
way.
sometimes if you now go and carry football to him, chances are he'll just be like, but because it was cricket, he jumped at it, and he took the under 17 cricket team.
Wow.
They sponsored the under 17 cricket team. So there are a lot of things to happen. So I learned a few things, and I'm not going to give you all the secrets.
That's
Next
so
year,
good. You have to be there.
you have to be there.
In fact, we're going to do advanced booking next time.
Yes.
No, for seriously speaking, you have
Yes.
to do advanced booking. Bumike added, is that the fact that you are a star athlete does not mean that you're a global star. Put your work out there and companies will buy into your brand. And then she was joined, like Tega said, by speakers from the private sector, amongst whom were Dr. Andrew Nevin, Nkechi Alade, and members of the Lagos State Sports Commission. I'm so glad they were able to come.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Still in Nigeria, ex-Nigerian striker Igalo warns Osimhen not to get carried away. The former Nigerian striker Odion Igalo said his constant advice to Victor is for him to keep working hard and improving. When he was reacting to Osimhen's latest heroics, Igalo has urged the Lille talisman to remain focused and to keep learning. In his words, and I quote, I always told him that he has everything it takes to lead this attack, but it all depends on him. I told him he has to keep working hard, stay humble, and always be ready to learn. And above all, don't get carried away with success or hype. Just keep improving.
All right. I love what Igalo said. And the key word for me there is he has everything, but he needs to stay humble and he needs to keep striving. It's a good one for him. In the last 24 months thereabout, Osimhen have been very, very, very up there. He has been doing everything to, okay, I'm here, I've come to stay. And Odion Igalo retiring have paved a way for him. We could see he has come out to tell us that he have come to stay, and which is very, very key. But coming to stay is something that you keep going at it. You keep doing what you have to do to stay up there, because staying up there is very, very important, so that we will get to know you, we'll get to get more of you. So Victor Osimhen have to do that. In the last couple of matches, 4 matches, he scored 4 goals. Is impressive. The game against Lesotho, I said it on Monday. He scored 2 goals, 2 assists. Very, very impressive for him. So one thing I would like to tell him is he should keep going at it. And the better part of it is the coach believing in him. He's just 20. He have a whole lot of year to go, and he have to keep going at it, because we have names of players that are very, very good. Not because they score more goals, because they keep scoring goals. They keep playing actively. They keep their standard high there, and we keep hearing their name all the time. So Victor Osimhen, we want to keep hearing you. We want to reckon with you every now and then.
Yeah.
So you just need to keep it up there.
So you don't like the tone he used. He should humble himself and just say,
Yeah.
say it quietly.
Humble
So-
people
some-
don't chop anything.
Somebody is telling you that I'm here to stay now. Why do you have a problem with that? Maybe it's just because they're carrying their shoulder.
Humbling himself is just that everything shouldn't get into his head.
Oh wow. Okay. So humble yourself. You've learned. Thank you very much, Okwemi, for that. Oh, Okwemi is not alone with Tega. Brutalistics. Uncle Bru just stepped into the studio.
Uncle Burbu.
We've missed you. How have you been, sir?
I have missed you all too. Good morning, Lagos. Is it? I think it's still in order to say happy 10th anniversary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It was. So I was following all the good
We
stuff.
don't
that
have
was
any
going
more
on.
snacks, so
Yeah.
don't greet us
I,
too much.
it's okay. I'm on a diet.
Okay.
No,
we
we're supposed to
are
ask
just
you.
telling you.
We're supposed to ask you when your uncle comes back. What did you bring?
What did you bring?
Rewards.
I'm just giving you good wishes and good tidings.
Please, next story.
Next story. Oh, by the way, your messages come to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. This is the locker room. Read one says, we'll get to that story. Read one. UD says, I just wanted to say thanks, guys. Well, more thanks to Tega. Now I see names on sports channels on TV. And I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Charles Chido's here said, seriously, I think Igalo should enjoy his retirement quietly. Nobody forced him to retire from the national team. It sounds like he's missing out on something. Kwame, do you think? Okay.
No, it's just an
Bumi,
advice.
Bumi says, or rather, Simi Ajayi says, Tega, I do not 100% agree with Bumi, okay? Sometimes brands are convinced by advertising people to invest in an up-and-coming sports or team they believe in. If the team has become or then becomes globally recognized, the brand fades exponentially. However, I admit it's less risky to go with established
Simi
success.
Ajayi, which country are you living in?
Nigeria.
Trust me, I've done marketing. You will market yourself and get to the top, everybody will jump at it.
Mm.
That's up and coming. People don't take the risk to put it because the whole idea of putting their money on people or teams is publicity.
Exactly.
If nobody knows you, there's no sense. So if you like 100% agree, if you like 100% agree, Buyoke has 30 years in advertising. I have at least 14 years in marketing. Trust me.
Besides, when
She's
brands,
right.
when brands, when brands put money on individuals, it's actually not dash money.
It's not dash
They're
money.
investing in the relevance
Yeah.
that you're bringing to
So
the table.
trust me, she's agree. She's right.
So-
So I say she's agree.
Canada became the first nation to reach the quarterfinals of the Davis Cup as they beat the United States for the first time at the 16th attempt. Vasek Popsisil defeated Rael Opelka, and Denis Shapovalov overcame Taylor Fritz in the pair as the pair followed up their wins in the first tie against Italy. The doubles rubber in Group F was conceded by the Canadians as three of their players were declared unfit. The tie was the first between the North American neighbors since 1965.
Yes. So Canada, that's it. This is Donald Trump's fault. I said it. But
They'll come for you.
okay, perhaps it's not.
That sounds like a witch hunt.
No, it's not.
That sounds like a
it sounds
witch
like
hunt.
a witch hunt, yeah. But I mean, think about it. Canada is beating the US in tennis. What on earth? But when you look at the names that are playing, that are representing Canada,
Yes.
Felix Auger Alisame has had a great year. Same thing with Denis Shapovalov. You compare that. Well, Riley Opelka has had a mixed season, and so has Taylor Fritz. But they aren't top notch players that America is used to producing. You're talking about the America that produced the Agassiz of the world, the
Mhm.
McEnroes of the world, and then they also managed to produce Andy Roddick. I mean,
Mm.
Andy Roddick is not bad.
Mm.
It's just that he came up at the time of Roger Federer.
Exactly.
He didn't make
Not a
anything.
good look.
He didn't make anything right for him. But those are the kind of players that they've brought. The James Blake, and then you now compare that to Taylor Fritz and Riley Opelka. Not a very not a very bold
Who are
step
they again?
forward. Exactly.
Mm.
Not a very bold step forward. And so it's a struggle. And then again, it's the Davis Cup. Some players to just say, you know what, I need to take a break. I need to rest. And so you play with what you have. But Canada has done a good job. They have bragging rights till January. At
That's
least-
good. At least.
Until January. Then the Davis Cup starts again and we see how this goes.
We'll see how you defend
But
this one.
congratulations to them, yeah.
It's a good one though. Messages on WhatsApp 0809 444 981. Chimubi Victor says, I'm very sure that Victor Osimhen will still play in Real Madrid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Femi says, Mourinho won. No, we're going to get to that story in time. Okay, so this one is about Luis Enrique. He returned to his role as manager of Spain on Tuesday, having temporarily stepped down in June for personal reasons. And his words, the Spanish Football Federation president Luis Rubiales said in an 80-minute news conference in Madrid on Tuesday, it was left clear that when Luis Enrique wanted to return, he could.
Okay, so let me talk about this controversy, which is another reason why I say the Spanish FA can botch things sometimes. You know how, so Luis Enrique resigns and says he has to go and stay with his daughter who was ill, and it makes sense, but the FA now tells him that, you know what, anytime you want to come, the door is open. However, they may not have thought that he wants to come back immediately. They just said, so you know how it is, it's a show of support. Anytime you want to come back,
Yeah,
the door is
always
open. And you
Yup.
come back. So they put in this guy Moreno, who has also been working with Luis Enrique. And Roberto Moreno comes in, he has a 100% record for Spain, qualifies them for the Euros. It's even talking with them. So in September, he gave an interview that if Luis Enrique wanted to come back, I think Luis Enrique had just lost his daughter then. He gave an interview that if Luis Enrique wanted to come back, that he would gladly give up the position. Don't ever do that. There's no need to be the bigger man. Bigger men, small men are eat. Bigger men are hungry. So he did that. He said that. But he also had conversations with the FA that were alluding to the fact that he'll be the one to take the team to the Euros. Nothing signed on paper, but just discussions. Ashe, Luis Enrique comes back after mourning his daughter and says he wants his job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is so hurtful? They called Luis Enrique just before the last match they played, the one that they thumped somebody 5-0, Romania. They called him just before that match to say, look, Luis Enrique has called also that he may be coming back. Imagine that you are in the position of carrying a team to the Euros.
Yeah.
You've planned your wedding. You bought dress. Then the
You've even
ex-girlfriend.
paid for venue.
You've even paid for venue. Then the ex-girlfriend walks in.
I say, yeah.
And
He told me that I was going to take
He
my
told me
boyfriend
that
back,
whenever
so-
I call, whenever I feel like coming back, I should come back.
But in Luis Enrique's defense and in the Spanish FA's defense, Moreno had indicated that he would be open to a polyamorous relationship.
No, but
So he can't now come and then
I know what you mean. Don't be a big.
like,
No. He says.
Semantics.
You know how it is. It's a show of support. Anytime you come back, I'll vacate.
Yeah.
But at least they would have the way he was speaking, and there was a contract made to take them to the Euro, to take the Spanish team to the Euros. Think about it. If you're Moreno, then they now call him to come for a meeting and say he should be assistant. You get it?
Never knew you come so soon.
So he didn't even show up for the meeting.
Look, truth be told, look, I can understand the emotions around it, but to your point, look, if you don't say things that you don't mean,
Don't
because
say
people
eat.
will hold you to
I'm telling you.
it. That's the moral of this story. Don't say things just because you want to feel good.
2019. We'll have to take a break. We'll be back in the locker room.
And it's okay. Don't be the bigger man.
Never
How you
knew.
say that in September?
So soon.
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Luis Enrique said, hey, I said it, so you're not be coming back.
You know?
And I'm hearing that, so when they called him, they wanted to do that he would keep working with.
The guy
Luis Enrique
didn't-
says, no, I'm going to be the coach and he's going to be my assistant. Moreno was like, what is that? He didn't even show up for the meeting. He didn't show up for the meeting.
But
So
you
that
can't
was-
have two. You can't have two.
You
coaches.
can't.
You can't have
He had
managers
to
now.
go.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. I know, which is why I say the Spanish FA botches things. I will tell you what happened. My friend travels for a while. She goes for her studies. Her boss says, I'm going to keep your sports open. Because this America that you think there's job, there's no job. So do your masters. And if it comes back, they did not sign anybody. When they had to do legal work, they outsourced it. Why? Because she was the company secretary. They kept that job for her. There was no need for them to start discussion for Euros, is my point. They always mess up. It's the same thing with Lopetegui. There was no need for them to start discussions at all. Just, it's an open-ended relationship. You understand? Don't give the guy hope. I will marry you, I'll marry you. Ex-girlfriend walks in now, you have dumped me.
I mean, look.
It's not what you promised.
On the plus side for Moreno, he has enhanced his
CV.
reputation, his
Yeah.
CV, with regards to how he's handled the Spanish team. So, at best, there's potential for him to get a role within La Liga. A La Liga job can come calling.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too soon for him to aspire to coach anywhere else.
Because he
He
had
still
a
needs to
good
cut
crop
his
of
teeth.
players.
Yes. So he had a good crop of players and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a different kettle of fish entirely. When you now say, well, because I've done this so well, then I should now
We
go
are
for a
coming
big
now.
club
You
and
don't read
whatnot.
any
So-
stories. Just go straight to the Moreno story. It's where they can rush. We are coming. No, must we talk about Moreno and Pochettino? We are coming.
They sacked somebody and replaced somebody.
As in the blink of an eye.
Sharp, sharp.
And then
Hi, bye.
yeah. Oh, 2014. We are coming. Let me see your comment. Ooh.
Mi corazón global.
Uh, don't worry, we are coming. We'll take all these comments. This
Uncle
breaking
Bruno.
news.
Uncle Bruno. Where's our bread?
Exactly. You didn't buy bread on the road, or you didn't see egg and banana and granite.
Oh.
They've signed him now. You don't know this morning. Breaking news. No.
Well, I
How many years?
suppose,
It's probably a 2 or 3 year contract.
Three
He's
years.
not. He's not
I-
staying for that 3 years.
I suppose that it only sort of makes sense where, considering where Tottenham are at the
Yeah.
moment, you cannot gamble
Yeah.
with any other sort of person. You know,
You cannot sack Pochettino and then bring someone and say you're building again.
The problem, however, and it's a consistent problem. Mourinho will not survive a relationship with Daniel Levy.
No, no,
I
no,
was saying it.
no. Whether you were saying it or you're not saying it, that's not the problem. Mourinho will not survive a relationship with anybody. He's just going to be there for 2 years.
I don't even see him getting to 2 years because look, part of the
scattered.
problem that Pochettino has at the moment is this stadium has removed money from their hands.
I can see.
So there's already a problem
No,
there.
I think he's going to stay for 2 years because they didn't bring Mourinho to rebuild. They are going to give him all the money, and they can afford to take loan now.
Daniel Levy will not do
There's no
that.
Daniel Levy cannot do shit. You did not sign Mourinho to do that. He knows. Daniel Levy is not a fool. He knows what Mourinho is about. The only problem is that Mourinho will come there the first season. By the second season, he will ask for Cristiano Ronaldo. They'll say they are not buying. Then he will leave.
Okay.
And Mourinho is not there for long-term relationships. He's a side chick. He's not a wife. Yeah. So I don't know why people always.
Max her up.
It's my boyfriend. I know.
Studio is live. You're here. Smooth 98.1, Smooth Breakfast. Part of the show is sports. Inside of Locker Room 981, we have Tega Supreme here. We have Brutalistics here. We have Miami here. It's a full studio. All right, so the big story that you've been waiting for, Tottenham. They're in talks with Jose Mourinho. Yes.
Sorry. Valentine.
Yes.
They're no longer in talks.
Mm.
They're finished
They're
talking.
finished talking.
They're finished
Oh.
talking.
Okay, so breaking
this
news.
morning. Breaking news.
Tottenham has had
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho
Yeah.
as we speak. The talks started from yesterday into the night, and now this morning they broke the news. Now, both sides, what's the agreement about?
Look, first of all, I seriously doubt that this conversation started yesterday.
High five.
I seriously doubt that. Look, the problem between Daniel Levy and Mauricio Pochettino has been brewing for a long time. I think if we're fair to ourselves, I think it started, last season where they did not spend one dime in any transfer window. The frustration was clear for all to see. It was masked by the fact that they managed to get to the Champions League final, and then the expectations that they're going to push on from there with the squad. Then you had this whole token signings that they put in, Tanguy Ndombele and I think Giovanni Lo Celso. It was a far cry from what Pochettino wanted. And when you then look at, I think it's Danny Rose wanting to leave, Alderweireld and co wanting to leave, and then Kieran Trippier actually leaving, saying that there were problems within the dressing room. It's a potpourri that has led us to where we are today. At the Bayern Munich massacre that Tottenham went through, and then the poor run of performances within the Premier League, it was almost inevitable that we'll get to this. However, what's his name? Jose Mourinho, the kind of person who tends to polarize everybody, and it works for Levy because it allows him, who generally tends to sit in the background and just do what he does, allow Mourinho take the shine and things like that. It may work. It may. And look, the players know the kind of person that that's coming as the manager. So there should be an improvement in performances. How long it will last, however, is a different kettle of fish. Because we have to go back to the fact that Mourinho is the guy who likes to spend money. He left United unhappy because he wasn't getting the kind of investment. Critically, he likes to control the playing staff and all of that stuff. Daniel Levy has never given any Tottenham manager that sort of freedom. So this is a recipe for disaster off the field, let's say around the year 2 period.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I always say when people say these things. We see further down the road that there's going to be fight. If it's Mourinho, you can rest assured that there'll be fight. So that one is that's a given. For me,
you don't think Levy can see this in a different way?
There's no way. This is not a long-term relationship. Daniel Levy didn't sign this thinking it was a long-term relationship. Neither did Jose Mourinho sign this thinking it was a long-term relationship. Both of them know that Daniel Levy knows he's getting a side chick, and side chicks are expensive. So they will tell you to spend the money, and you have to spend it, and they will not stay for long. So right. He knows that this is a side chick relationship. This is not his wife. But what it is that when you sack a manager like Pochettino, who has taken a team to the finals of the UEFA Champions League, you just have to look like you're a little ambitious and go higher. So what they're going to do, they're going to use this side chick relationship for maybe a year or two, and then end it. They both know they're not going to last. I mean, think about it.
So the instructive message I just got from this is side chicks are expensive.
Please read people's messages. The
That
messages are a
said,
lot.
let's take the messages now. Lulu said from VI, I totally agree that the talks with Mourinho obviously started way before yesterday. I still think it's a mismatch, though. Among other issues, you're getting a manager that likes to spend money in a club that does not like to spend money. That said, I feel bad for Dele Ali. Like Mikel, he'll soon become a defensive midfielder. But how do you, he's like putting a round peg in a square hole. And Josh says Spurs fired Pochettino for Mourinho. Oh, my chest. I'm in severe pains. I can't even think properly because many things are not adding up. Chinwe Nancy, thank you for your message. It's pretty long. They says 2 years, I beg. You know, the past 1 year. Tony from Ogba says, good morning, Pocho. Pochettino been sacked or has been sacked. Never came to me as a surprise, only that it took them too long to do it. Jose is like that ex that sleeps with your friends just to hurt you from a Chelsea fan. Wow, really? Guys, Femi says they said he's finished. They try to say that he's outdated, that no one wants him. They also said Pochettino is better because he's a modern progressive manager. But Pochettino, the progressive manager, was sacked for the outdated manager.
Who is this? High five.
Yes,
Who is
Femi,
this?
please.
Femi, high five. Femi, high
Thank
five.
you, thank you.
Femi from Festa.
And then Nuruddin says from Satellite Town, good morning, presenters. Moreno did what he did in the spirit of true sportsmanship, and he remained loyal to Enrique.
Nah, so,
Mind you, he's not an African man that needs super glue to the position.
Hunger.
Joseph from Satellite Town says Moreno should calm down. Lewis will soon be fired and any slight disappointments at the Euros. Then the FA will come back for him with a better deal. He will laugh at last. Okay. Emeka from Amoa says, see me jubilating after hearing that a manager in North London was sacked yesterday. However, that happiness was short-lived when I realized it wasn't Unai Emery. The earlier we sack Emery, the better. We're already tired of Thursday evening football. Guys, just... Thank you so much for your messages.
Let's do YouTube now. So,
yes,
YouTube people.
Yes, we have messages on YouTube, by the way. Subscribe to our channel. Live in the studio. Quadri says, Jose appointed as Spurs coach. Breaking news. To me, it's a mismatch. Mourinho spends to achieve. Levy hates spending. Let's see how this match will last. Thank you, Mikarazon. It says Mourinho to Spurs, then they should enjoy the first 2 years, and by 2022, it's game up. And Quadri says the marriage analysis has just got me cracking my ribs. And Quadri also adds brutalistics. Thank you very much. He said, Bottega, there was no fight when Mourinho was in Inter. They practically begged him to stay. And we have this one from Chidi. Chidi Nadi says, this is the most apt sports analysis using the analogy of side chicks. Thank you, Chidi.
Yeah.
And then we have on Twitter, keep your messages coming in so we can read them. It's at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is LockerRoom981. On to more messages. Diego Kingston says, the only thing Arsenal knows is to discover things, but does not know how to go for those things. When I heard Mourinho was linked to Arsenal, I laughed my heart out because I knew it would never materialize. Welcome back, Mourinho. He says, Tega, what is your comment on Jose to Tottenham? Valentine, but Tottenham was unfair to Pochettino, the man who took them to Champions League final. Tega, I know that Man City's locked table position anger will be unleashed on my Chelsea this weekend. Why this period? Big T says, please, don't be showing yourself off. Analogy of ex-girlfriend, now side chick. This is our sports show. Stop cracking me up. Big T, thank you. Ridwan says, so Pochettino has been sacked. Watch out for the Royal Rumble between Daniel Levy and Mourinho in a few weeks' time. Ole, Emery, Valverde, that's Tega's best friend. I should all watch out for the sack. Yomi says, Mourinho has successfully brought his toxicity to Spurs. Brutalistics, do you think Mourinho is going to bring them more wins this season?
Look, he will make them defensively probably more organized. I don't know that he will sustain the style of play that Pochettino has brought on so far. So we might find a situation where Spurs might resort to what we call boring football. It will be effective. They will move up the table. He will buy some players and think that he might get money. Then his heart will be broken by Daniel Levy in other transfer windows. Then we'll have the problems, and then the dressing room drama. Then he'll walk away and then go and look for achievement elsewhere.
Seems like you've seen it in a glass ball somewhere.
It's Mourinho. You can write that script with your eyes closed.
Okwayemi, how long do you think Mourinho is going to last here?
Probably 2 years.
You give him 2 years?
2 years.
That's generous.
2.5. Let's be kind.
No, I think...
Tega, how many
No.
years? A month.
Well, yeah, I think it's 2 seasons I give him, and the 2 seasons is this season and the next
season,
one.
yes.
So it's not
Then
2
he will,
years.
he will start the next season and then problem will start.
So this season that is remaining and the next one. It's my boyfriend, I know him. So it's this season that is left and the next one.
But it will give us something to watch.
Oh,
The only
wow.
other thing I
EPL
want
will
to
be
add,
interesting.
the only other thing I want to add is look, the other side of North London, there will now be serious pressure on the board.
Yeah.
If Tottenham can act this quickly, the toxic fans of Arsenal will now be asking why the board is still persisting with Unai
Thank
Emery.
you.
And that is going to create further problems for the team, the manager, and that will reflect on the Premier League table and results.
Thank you very much. Ade says, okay, now let's just make it 18 months. But special thanks to all of you for your contributions, for your hilarious comments, and thanks to Tega Supreme at Tega Supreme on Twitter, Brutalistics at Brutalistics on Twitter with an X at the end, and Okoyemi at The Real Okoyemi. No fake one. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1 because coming up next inside of Lagos Talks 981, we have a special. And we're going to discuss, find out how the criminal justice system is meant to work, or we just talk about one of the most topical stories that we had on inside of Freshly Pressed 981. How about we extend that conversation? Stay with us here to find out.
And
It's kind of life now.